DC Universe's days are numbered, and it's really on its last legs. A lot of us don't really expect this thing to last through the end of 2020. Like, going into 2021, this thing probably won't exist anymore. But now, we're really just waiting for, like, an official announcement, like, hey, DC Universe is dead, so go check out HBO Max instead, because everything cool on DC Universe is going to be on HBO Max. So we're pretty much just waiting for that announcement, and it's just being dragged out. Like, there's been no real update in a long time. Until now, because a couple days ago, Jim Lee made this post. Now, I think that this was posted either Saturday or Sunday. So, as you can see in the caption there, of course, at first he says, "Congrats to DC Doom Patrol for the Season 3 pickup by HBO Max." Great, super excited by that news. But then he says, "Stay tuned next week for big news about DC Universe and its exciting future." And this is really interesting. And then another interesting part is that it specifically shows, the image that he has there is a bunch of comics. So let's break this down. So there is some sort of DC Universe news coming next week. And like I said, I think this was posted either Saturday or Sunday. So by next week, he could be meaning this week that we just started, that we're in right now, or it could be next week. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But we are getting some sort of DC Universe announcement very soon. But I think something I find really interesting about this is that he says DC Universe and its exciting future. Now, we were just expecting that everything on DC Universe was going to be moved over to HBO Max, and that DC Universe would just, get deleted and not even exist anymore. But it sounds like it will have some sort of future, which is really interesting. So I'm thinking is that we're still going to get all of its originals, like Doom Patrol, like Titans, like Harley Quinn. They're all going to continue on with HBO Max and not be on DC Universe. And then maybe DC Universe will turn into just a comics app, because that's really one of the things people like the most about the app, at least from what I've heard, is that you can literally read any DC comic on there. So that's really cool. And maybe they could just bring the price down a lot to a couple dollars a month, and then you could just get the app, and then you can read any DC comic, which is really cool, because they have that for Marvel. They have this app called Marvel Unlimited, so you can read any Marvel comic on there, except on there you have to pay for each individual comic. But on DC Universe, maybe it would be you just pay a couple dollars a month and you can read any DC comic for free. So I think that'd definitely be a really interesting future for DC Universe, because that is one of the things that people like about that streaming service the most. And that ties into the image, because, like I said, the image that Jim Lee posted was pictures of a whole bunch of different DC comics. So clearly it has something to do with comics, and I'm thinking this is what it's going to be. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, maybe if they go ahead and do this, and if it's super cheap, I might actually end up getting this, because there's a lot of DC comics I'd love to read, but I don't have any local comic book stores or anything, and they're hella expensive online. So I mean, a couple dollars a month, read out all of them for free. That's a real winner right there. So I think this is a great idea. Then again, this is just my theory. So we'll have to wait and see when this actual announcement is made. Coming probably the end of this week-ish, maybe this weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see. But let me know down in the comments below, guys. What do you want to see done with the future of DC Universe? Would you like to see it become just a kind of comics app type thing? Or would you like to see something else done with it? So thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit that subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.